Made all over the world, enjoyed by millions, but still mysterious to many.
Including us.
Oh, my God.
I'm Matthew Goode.
And I'm Matthew Rhys. You might be wondering what two actors are doing on a show about wine.
I've always loved that sound. Glass of giggles. And then maybe a cleansing ale.
Well, we're going to be looking behind the labels on all kinds of bottles.
Is there a dry finish on it?
Yeah, it is dry.
I quite like
Well,
it.
okay,
so do I.
Oh,
What?
From the wine we enjoy every day with our dinner to the really, really fine stuff.
This is well over £100.
I'm all right.
We'll be exploring stories that not only tell us about wine, but the world we live in today.
It's about weather, soil, grapes, and people.
We're going to show you there's a wine out there for everyone, and trying something different is the best way to understand more about this marvelous drink.
Knock me down with a feather.
Indian rosé.
Wow.
But we're not doing it alone. Our team of wine experts has traveled to 11 countries on 5 continents to bring back the best and most interesting wines.
I'm not sure if this is sort of genius or just bizarre.
Here, to our villa, high in the Italian hills.
Where have you been, Maestro?
I've been to Chile. It was very interesting. We've got 2 fascinating wines.
And we're getting out and about ourselves.
This isn't right.
It is right. It's just you haven't worked it. You don't speak Italian.
Make her speak English.
We're taking a trip across Italy, choosing wines that reflect the spirit of this most beautiful country.
Made your choice?
I've made my choice, but I'm not going anywhere for a bit. I'm going to just luxuriate in it for a second.
In this episode, Joe Fattorini finds some rather unusual wine-growing techniques from Judith in South Africa.
Did you say you kiss it in the mornings? Yes. Can we kiss your vine? We're going to give it a kiss. Mwah.
Kent chef Stephen Harris takes wine and food pairing to a whole new level.
Serving suggestion, hold the glass here while you're chewing.
We explore all sides of one of the greatest wine frauds of all time.
I think that Rudi was a victim of his own counterfeiting success.
And Joe surprises us for once with his choice of wine as we turn the tables on our mentor.
Wow. Good Lord above. Ow! Stop it!
So do stay with us as we uncork and decant.
Another Grand Cru episode of The Wine Show.
I get excited at this point because it's time for Journeyman Joe.
I'm just thirsty.
Here he is, right on time. Oh, where have you been?
2 bottles of wine from South Africa this time.
Whereabouts?
Well, not so much where as who. I've been to the Township Winery just outside Cape Town.
A vineyard in a township.
A vineyard in a township. It's a remarkable story. It's not just about the wine, which is very good.
So we've got Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc from there. We've also got a Pinot Noir from just up the road, more classic, established region. But this is a story about the people and the purpose. And, well, it's an important story.
Well, don't give too much away. So before we taste these wines, we're going to see what Joe was up to in a very special place where a vineyard's found a new home in South Africa.
South Africa is a beautiful country, and some of it's breathtaking. It's made an industry from wine tourism and has done it brilliantly. If you talk to people about South African wine, they'll often mention Stellenbosch and beautiful estates like this.
There you go, sir. It's the Jellygraph
Brilliant.
Coastal Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc.
Looking forward to that.
2014. Just a bit of a taster.
Absolutely. This is the pinnacle of luxury in the new South Africa. You can eat world-class food and you can drink a rather lovely Cabernet made right here on the estate. But this isn't the only face to South African wine. Yet less than an hour away from here is possibly the last place on Earth you would think of when trying to produce wine. This is the township of Philippi. It was established in the 1980s, becoming a refuge during apartheid. I've seen wine grow in some really inhospitable and challenging places, you know, high in mountains or out in deserts. But this is a different challenge altogether. One of the most densely populated places I think I've ever been. And it's just little bits of scrubland in and amongst people's houses.
In recent years, a transformation has begun to take place, and the township is fast becoming known in the wine community. This is largely thanks to a local housing developer, Kate Bella, who not only built some of the houses here in Philippi, but also began a project to build a winery, which now produces around 5,000 bottles of Sauvignon Blanc a year.
How do you go from building a house to a winery?
Every single thing in life is formula-driven, design-driven. I realized then that I could make wine, you know? It's just a formula.
So when did that happen? When was the...
It was in 2009.
So this has had 6 years or so to build. And what have you achieved in those 6 years?
What we have achieved is a brand. We actually have a brand called Township Winery.
Mm-hmm.
It's well known in the UK and many other parts of the world.
And, I mean, for the people around here, what difference has it made so far in terms of enriching their lives? I mean, that's at the heart of this project, in a way.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about empowerment, empowerment is not necessarily money. Most important, more than money, is knowledge and participating in it in no matter how small way.
Are there particular parts of the community who've been more involved than others?
Yes. We do have what we call the Matriarch group, a group of 5 ladies. They were part of it when it started.
Numcle Zadani, marketing director for the Township Winery, has offered to introduce me to 2 of the matriarchs, Judith and Priscilla. Judith has lived here for 20 years, but has only been growing her vine for 1.
Hello.
I'm Joe.
Joe, that's Judith.
Judith, what would you like to see this project, this enterprise, become?
Sinqonele impumelelo ukwenzela uba nabantwana bethu bakwazi ukuxhamla. Mhlawumbi sesiswelekile baxhamle kuba imisebenzi ayikho apha eSouth Africa.
It may not look like much, but these vines represent a future for the township.
So this is your vine?
Yes.
And then you're going to have a row along here? And what do you do every day with your vine? Did you say you kiss it in the mornings? Yes. Can we kiss your vine? We're going to give it a kiss. Mwah.
There you go.
Currently, the township doesn't grow enough grapes to produce their wine, so they have to purchase some from local sources, but there is a future. The Township Winery is aiming to become self-sufficient. Wine producer and marketing expert Graham Knox has discovered a plot of land just outside the township that may look like scrub, but where the soil quality rivals any found in Champagne or Burgundy.
What is it now?
It's neglected land.
And yet it happens to be one of the greatest viticultural finds in South Africa.
It is the best example of limestone soil that I've ever seen in the Western Cape. If it was in Stellenbosch, it'd be worth millions.
And when you've got a vineyard here, will it provide jobs for people?
Oh, absolutely. The vineyard will, in fact, be owned by a cooperative that's part of the Township Winery. So everybody who ever gets a job with working in a vineyard or in the winery will be eligible to become a member of the cooperative, where the whole family come and work in the vineyard.
Realistically, what's your timeline for turning this into a vineyard?
We expect to have the whole thing planted by next winter, and so that's about a year away. And then another 3 years for the vines to establish, and then we'll have a first crop.
It's a very real future for the people of Philippi, but for now the vineyard is right on everyone's doorstep, and today there's some planting to be done.
It's a really important moment. You talk to any vineyard anywhere in the world, the planting of a virgin vineyard is a really important thing. And it just looks like a sort of twiggy bit of wood, really, but this represents an enormous amount more. Give it time, this will be one of those big, lush vines. This, if nothing else, it's a greener garden, which will make a huge difference to everybody living here. Is there another shovel? I'll give a hand. I like to feel I'm doing my bit here. On a very personal level, how I'll feel about this forever now is that I was part of planting 4 vines in somebody's front garden, and I will tell people about that until I die, genuinely. It will be one of the proudest moments I've got in the world of wine. That's how important this visit has been for me.
Come on then, Joe. Give us some of this Township wine.
What an incredible group of women.
Isn't it remarkable?
Extraordinary, the matriarchs.
The matriarchs. There's Judith in charge. She was in charge as well, and Priscilla. They were so lovely, and they looked after me.
Thank you.
Judith kissing her vines.
Yes.
Yes.
But let me taste this wine, and I'm going to ask you, in a slightly serious note, they can be quite dangerous places. Is there is there security necessary for the vines? And how did you feel when you were there?
There was these amazing stories where Judith said once or twice you would get young people and they would come and rip up the vines and they would muck them around. Really? But there is a real respect for the matriarchs, which is why it's so essential. And Kate was so determined that they would be in charge, because they would come out, they would always know who'd done it. They would find out, and there'd be some young man and he'd be marauding. They said, "Don't you do that. This is about our future, and this is about us going and having, some respect for people's property and so on." Never happened again. Nice. It is delicious, isn't it? And I also hope that maybe in 10 or 20 years' time, some of the children we met there, they could be great winemakers of the next generation. But what do you think of the wine?
Well, it's a Sauvignon Blanc. So I'm very used to, going from, buying a lot of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. So it's a very different taste. Certainly the finish. I can't quite describe it, actually.
South Africa sits stylistically halfway between France and New Zealand. So it's got some of that big fruitiness of New Zealand, but it has some of the restraint and the old world elegance of Europe.
Rhys, what are your thoughts on it?
It's like a sort of buttery wood to it at the end that I'm not mad about.
OK, we'll work on that one. Let's see if we get any more success, Rhys, with the red.
Go Pinotage.
This comes from a little town along the road called Hermanus. Very exciting growing area. But the grape variety is Pinotage, which is uniquely South African. It's a crossing between 2 grape varieties, Pinot Noir and Sanso, and they hoped to have the elegance of one and the strength of the other. What they got was something completely different, which is this hearty, big
as a whale. A southern right whale, which is what they stuck on the label.
It's true. That is
do
relevant.
Do they pass by?
It is. It's absolutely relevant, and it's cooled by these southern ocean breezes that come in. Right. And that keeps the wine nice and fresh and zingy. If people out there have had Pinotage before, and they may well have done, it's been around for a while, it's worth revisiting it, because Pinotage has got better and better over the last few years. And in fact, if you want to know more about the Township Winery or Pinotage, you have to go and visit our website. It's all there.
Might just do that. Thanks, Joe. I like it. Thoughts, Rhys?
Wonderful.
He's an easy man to please. Still to come.
A library in a winery.
Joe Fattorini finds the perfect space to sit down with a good book.
That seems kind of strange.
And I have a real problem with champagne flutes, actually, so if you can solve this, brilliant.
Try one of these.
Ooh. Goode finally finds a solution for the ultimate first world problem.
Where there's wine, there's a gadget. Whether it's cooling, pouring, or opening, someone has tried to find a way to give us the best glass of wine possible.
But which gadgets are great and which are good for nothing?
Gadget news.
Shall we come back when you've done your washing up?
It's not about my washing up. I'm here to resolve your problems.
Really? That'll take a week.
Well, your wine problems.
Oh, OK.
Have you ever had a lovely glass of wine? It's been delicious, and we need to wash it up. Yes. But where does it go? It'll tumble around there.
Yes.
And there. The worst, you can put it like that, but it'll crack.
I've done that many times. I have a real problem with champagne flutes, actually, so if you can solve this, brilliant.
Try one of these.
Ooh, curl your hair.
Oh, it's quite
clever. You slide that over there.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
We bend the top to height.
You're a god.
Oh. Look at that.
Look at it.
You're going to stick one on?
I am.
We've only got one more glass. You do it.
Look at that.
Rock solid.
And also, if
In
you
it
have small
goes.
children, you can make giraffes.
Yes.
Girls or men can curl their hair.
Who needs a matchstick? One of the pipe cleaner.
Yes.
Let me go and create some room here, because I want to show you these other two.
We're going to fight.
This is a common problem. We've just mucked up. You've got a cork halfway out.
Yeah.
It's got a crack in it.
What?
Corkscrew won't work.
No.
So what you need is a butler's friend. It's got 2 prongs, one slightly longer than the other.
Thank you.
On the edge. So what we do, we take this, place it either side of the cork. Yeah. That needs to go down there.
Do you wiggle it, or you just...
Just gently ease it in.
Yeah.
That's it. And now we want to gently ease it down the sides, like that, with a sort of seesaw action.
An unsteady hand, pretty useful.
And then we can...
Oh, look at that!
Hence the name, a butler's friend. The idea was a butler would be able to take a cork out.
Right.
It wouldn't have a hole in the middle, so he would put it back in after he'd had a cheeky snifter.
After he'd had a little snifter.
Good old Bertie.
Yeah, it's very nice. I think I'll be taking one of those into my next sommelier meeting.
Do either of you dribble?
Now, there's an open question.
Hey.
Where to begin and where to end?
This helps you with your dribbles. It also aerates a little bit. So if you're concerned that
Oh, yeah, it's got a little funky little thing in there.
Gentle pour.
Well, it's a bit too gentle, if you're asking me. I'm here forever.
Some might say slow.
Yeah, hang on. There. So you said that's aerating, it's tasting, it's doing its thing.
But also, I've not dripped onto the fine linen tablecloth underneath.
Not a jot.
There we go.
Very nice.
Gadgets.
Yeah,
the wine world is full of them. I am sure there are other wine problems that people want to ask us about, and I wish they would through our Twitter account. Come and contact us at WineShowTV, and we'll answer all your wine problems. Enjoying that?
No. Cherry.
I could do with opening up a bit.
So could you.
Now, food and wine. When we're thinking about what to drink, we generally choose our wine after we've decided what we're going to eat. But here on The Wine Show, we like to mix it up. We're asking some of the world's greatest chefs to reverse the idea. First, they're picking their favorite wine. Then, they're planning a dish to match it. I'm curious to know what Matthew and Joe would like to eat with the wine chosen by today's chef.
Our chef this time has chosen... It's something after your own heart, Jojo. It's a fabulous bottle of Côte de Beaune.
Not only Côte de Beaune, Marange Premier Cru, the youngest of the Burgundy Côtes.
Very much so. What do we think...
By a great producer.
...would pair incredibly well with this little beauty?
The producer is as much a clue as where it comes from, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Nicolas Potel is a great winemaker. He spent lots of time in Australia and California.
Yeah.
So some wines like this may well be a bit lighter, but he makes a more voluptuous, fruity style. He's always wanted to be quite generous.
That's delicious.
Good for him.
Yeah. So come on, you haven't given me any foods yet.
This will be quite an opulent dish.
Okay.
I suspect there are nice firm tannins. It's not going to be necessarily overly rustic. I would expect quite a rich sauce. Classic. I think we're in France, and I'm going to start with a duck dish.
Ooh, foul!
Wrong.
Imagine what the bill would be. I would follow Joe and go up on it. Although
How do you mean?
Well, on the pour, I was expecting something lighter, but it's actually got a little bit more taste and body than I anticipated. However, I'd want the food to kind of punch up above its weight.
Well, that was almost too much food for thought. But to find out exactly what was paired with this beautiful bottle of Burgundy, we have Stephen Harris, who has a pub called The Sportsman near Whitstable in Kent.
My name's Stephen Harris. I'm the chef at The Sportsman in Seasalter, a pub restaurant on the North Kent coast. This place, The Sportsman, is a bit of a landmark for people in Whitstable. You know, if you say The Sportsman, you don't just mean the pub, you mean the area. We're surrounded by lots of brilliant ingredients. We're on a salt marsh which grazes lambs and cows. Then you've got the Dover sole, turbot, sea bass. You've got oysters, cockles, mussels, winkles, whelks. There's an idea in France called cuisine de terroir, meaning food from the land. And what you do is you base your food on what surrounds you. I've always been interested in wine. My dad would always have a bottle of Côte de Rhône, and I loved it, but I used to get a red nose if I drank, so I could only have a bit. For me, wine is a hobby. In the world of food, I have to be very professional. With wine, I can do what I like, and I am a reductionist, meaning I seem to manage to reduce everything to a small area, like I have with food. I've done it with wine as well. So I have my two favourite villages, and those are the ones that I buy most of my wine from. I've chosen a wine from the village of Von Romney, which is my favourite red wine village in Burgundy. It produces the best red wine in the world, I think, indisputably. I'm going to cook lamb, and I'll probably pop out in the garden and get some courgettes. So very, very simple. You can only really have one star at the show. In this case, it's going to be the wine. Leg of lamb. The lamb's that graze out on the salt marsh. I'm going to roast it in duck fat. This is salt from the sea out there. If you put meat or fish into an oven, it dries out, so you only cook it on the top of the stove. It does take slightly longer, but it's fun. You're getting a lovely colour on that now. Picked a few things for the garden. I've got some lovely yellow courgettes. Oh, it's just amazing. Squash. So, these are the juices in the pan. These are gold dust. And now, I'm going to plate it all up. Really, really elegant wine. Getting all the things that you associate with Von Romney. Serving suggestion, hold the glass here while you're chewing. It's made. That's all you have to do. If you've got a great bottle of wine, you really don't want to upstage it with too much on a plate, you know? It's a great combination. I think that there's something in lamb and meat. There's an irony taste in red meat that matches up with the iron in the soil in Von Romney. So I think that might be what it is.
Still to come.
Aha! Welcome home.
Well done.
Oh, we're glad to have you back.
The prodigal wineman returns from a trip to one of Italy's least known regions.
Now, I may know my stuff, but I had no idea what I would find.
And we meet the defense attorney for the most famous wine fraudster in the world.
Rudi messed with these people's hobbies. That's it. It was their hobby.
Italy, a place where food and wine dominate life like no other nation on earth.
But in a country with 350 wine varieties and even more type of grape, just where did two novices start?
We're looking to our mentor, Obi Wine Kenobi, Joe Fattorini, for help.
He's creating a trip across Italy so we can learn a little about this country's best wines.
But sending us to the nearest bottle shop is just not his style.
Yes, this is certainly more than just a jaunt through the Italian countryside.
This is the wine showcase. There are 10 wines. It's almost full. But there are still 2 wines for you to find that represent the spirit of Italy. The Italians have a strict set of rules for making wine. There's rules for what goes in it and how it's made. But whilst Italy loves rules, Italians love breaking rules. So I want you to find me a wine that represents Italy's love of breaking all the rules.
Breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules.
All right, we're breaking the rules. This is the wine showcase. So find us a wine that does exactly what you just asked for.
2 bottles. You'll need these.
Time's ticking.
Wiltshires.
The tables have turned. Challenge accepted.
Ah, good.
Oh.
Buona giornata.
Drive safe.
That's Welsh.
Is it? Wasn't it?
It means good morning.
Well, I have to say I couldn't be happier. I was getting rather jealous of Matt and Matt's adventures. And what are rules for if not for breaking?
I love Italy. It has this long history, but actually it only became a country in really about 1870. Before that, it was just this collection of city-states and quite distinct regions. And wine was, and still is, a sort of microcosm of how Italy sees itself. It's not a single entity, rather it's a collection of quite distinct regions and fiercely protected areas.
So to find my rule-breaking wine, I've decided to head to what I think is a rather underrated region in wine terms, Lazio and the city of Orvieto. For centuries, this area has been making, enjoying, and even trading in wine. There's even a vine-themed interpretation of Genesis on the wall of the Duomo.
Of course, like any Italian town, eating and drinking are at the heart of life. And the rules around what and when you can eat are fiercely observed. If you go to a trattoria, you go anywhere in Italy, you'll find that there's pasta on the menu. Come to a place like this, to Orvieto, and what you'll find, let's say, umbricelli with truffles. You wouldn't find it in Sicily, and you wouldn't find it maybe 20 kilometres away. Because when it comes to food and wine in Italy, rules really are rules.
So before I explain how Italians go about breaking those rules, let me give you a quick summary of what's called the DOC.
There are over 400 protected wines in Italy called DOC. That stands for Denominazione di Origine Controllata. And the DOC says that for Orvieto, you can have between 40 and 60% of Trebbiano Toscana, the grape variety. You have to have between 15 and 25% of a grape variety called Verdelho. Why? Well, it's all to do with quality. So I know, when I pour this out, it'll always taste roughly the same. And as a guarantee of quality, that will always taste like Orvieto. But what do I do if I'm a winemaker in Italy and I don't want to follow the rules? Let's say I'm a winemaker in Orvieto who really likes Grechetto. It's not called Orvieto anymore, it's just Grechetto. It turned out in Italy that there were loads of producers who wanted to break the rules. But you still have to have a rule, and the Italians had an ingenious solution. They created a rule built around the way everybody broke the rules. It's called IGT, or Indicazione Geografica Tipica. It's a wine that's typical of its area, but it doesn't follow the regular rules. And I think this is exactly the kind of wine that Matt and Matt will love.
But I've been tasked with finding two wines, so I'm heading to a vineyard where they grow something surprising. Well, surprising if you know anything about the wines of Italy.
Paolo and Noemi D'Amico fell in love with this estate on a drab day in February in 1985. They planted their first vines the very same year. Coming on a gorgeous day like today, it's not hard to see why they couldn't resist buying the place.
Guillaume Gelli is the estate winemaker. He's responsible for their 100,000 bottle production from their 21 hectares of vineyards. It's vintage time for him, and today he's picking Pinot Noir. Yes, a cool climate grape, hundreds of miles south from where it's usually grown. If that isn't breaking the rules, I don't know what is.
Good morning, Guillaume.
Hello.
How nice to see you.
My pleasure.
Now, what's a Frenchman like you doing in an Italian vineyard like this?
Yeah, it could be a bit surprising, but today, you know, the wine is all around the world, and it was just a great opportunity to manage a familial estate in Italy. It's the perfect spot to make some great wine.
Not only is this a Frenchman in an Italian vineyard, but it's Pinot Noir here. Surely this is the wrong part of Europe even to have Pinot Noir.
Yeah, so the Pinot is quite fragile as a variety, and it's very hard to manage. So to balance the heat from the sun and to preserve all the flavors, the acidity and the character, the personality of the Pinot, we have the volcanic soil. That's kind of our treasure with the altitude, and that's balanced the high maturity from the Pinot. So at the end, we got quite a unique product.
So when you say the volcanic soil, what does that do to the vine?
It's just the composition and the richness in all mineral elements. So that makes something different. The the soil will not heat that much like another soil will be, and that makes all the difference.
So how long are you going to pick for now?
Now it will be a full day today for the Pinot Noir, and it's just at the right maturation, so we are in perfect condition.
Excellent stuff.
So, Joe, time to walk.
You're going to make me work hard now.
You cannot tasting my wine without touching the grapes. So that's 10 months work in the vineyards, a lot of different seasons and a lot of different conditions. So now,
after those 10 months, you're risking it all with me picking these things.
I trust you. Here's the secretary.
Can I have a taste of one? They're really ripe, aren't they? Oh, they're delicious. Genuinely harder than I imagined. I'm making a mess. Crikey, I'm going slowly. I'm getting caught up here. I don't think you'll be employing me as a harvester anytime soon.
No, anymore.
This is me. Spent 27 years in the wine business, and I'm the world's slowest grape picker.
I'm not quite sure I filled my quota of boxes, but it's time to head to the winery. And I'm about to find out that the D'Amicos don't just like breaking the rules on what grapes they grow, they also like to make the wines somewhere rather unusual.
Wow. I'm not sure if this is genius or just bizarre. I've been in lots of wineries before, and the steel tanks, that's really familiar to me, but a library in a winery, a working winery, that seems kind of strange. How remarkable.
This year's Pinot harvest is well on its way to becoming something very special, but it's time to taste some that's already made it into the bottle.
I can't imagine that there is a wine style or a grape variety that you could grow here that would be more unusual in a way than Pinot Noir. It would be hard to think of a more different challenge.
Yeah, with the right, you can do that. We are just here to reveal the personality and let the nature doing and just express the potential of the area.
The Pinot Noir is utterly bizarre. I think that has to be the rule-breaking wine that I'm going to present to Matt and Matt. Do you think have I made the right choice?
Yeah, definitely.
Aha! Welcome home.
Well done.
Oh, we're glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
How was it?
Was it fun?
It was very interesting. You know, I may know my stuff, but I had no idea what I would find.
Where did you go?
The Umbrian countryside, and came back with, I think, 2 very interesting wines.
Excellent.
Shall I tell you what I've got?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've broken the rules in 2 ways. Well, the winemakers have, and I've found their wines. So what I've got is a white wine, Grec, short for Grechetto. Grechetto is a minority grape in Orvieto.
Oh.
But it turns out, on its own, it's really good. But you can't call it Orvieto because it's meant to have lots of other grapes in there. Okay. So that is a very surprising white. And then I also have a Pinot Nero from Orvieto, which in wine terms doesn't make sense. Why would you grow it this far south?
Well, let us taste the fibre of your fabric, young man.
Let's wrestle with your Grec.
All right, Grec it is. Mr. Rhys.
Grazie.
There we go. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh.
Nice colour, interesting. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was a thoughtful expression there.
Very light. It's quite fun.
Do you like it?
I do. I think it's really nicely balanced. It's got quite a long finish. Mm-hmm. It's nice warming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just warm, long, like you say, still with me.
I'm really well done.
Well done.
That's brilliant. I mean, of course we expect you to come back with something amazing. But anyway, should we move on to the Pinot? Hurrah!
Right, healthy pour.
Yeah, well done. I always like that about you, Rhys.
Oh,
wow! Good Lord above.
Ow! Stop it!
No reviewing this one.
No. Oh, it's punchy.
It's a medium weight wine,
Yeah.
so it's not a heavy weight, it's not
No.
muscular. Now, potentially, this is a grape that shouldn't be growing here. It's a rule breaker on a number of levels. Grown in Umbria, where you don't grow Pinot Noir. It's actually made in Lazio. It's made by a Frenchman. The climate is wrong, the area is wrong, the warmth is wrong, but in this part of Umbria where they grow it, the volcanic soils allow this wine to ripen beautifully, to maintain its freshness. And so in this very particular area, it just seems to work right.
Isn't that great? Oh, we love it, don't we?
Balanced again, like a bear on a barrel.
Dry, dry, dry. I love it. Really great. So we need to come to an overall decision.
I've made my decision.
Have you?
I have. Yes.
Yes, me too.
I do.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
think that's
I
what
do.
a decision. Tell him. Go on.
I think we're both incredibly enamoured with the red.
With the Pinot Noir.
I think
Yes.
it's fantastic.
It is.
Really great.
It is.
I shall place it in our wine case. Only one slot left. Rules broken wonderfully.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. You've done incredibly well.
My professional honour has been upheld.
Still to come, Joe tests our nerve with a very big wager.
Would you bet £100,000 of your own money buying this at auction?
To help us understand the very complex world of wine fraud.
Yes.
I've got two wines for you here from the same bottle. So here we have Bar Haut-Brion, the sort of wine that sometimes people would look to go and effectively make fraudulently. So how do people go and tell the difference? Are they able to know? Because we don't drink this sort of wine every day. So I've given you the two, and I want you to go and have a look and see if you can tell me which of these is the fraudulent wine.
Well, this has been a departure for us on the Wine Show, as is the next film, the story of Rudi Kurniawan.
Dear Judge Bennon, thank you for your consideration of this letter and for allowing me to express to you my sincere feelings concerning my conduct, which has led to me standing before you in this matter.
I think that Rudi was a victim of his own counterfeiting success.
I make no excuses for what I did.
We decided to buy two wines.
What I did was wrong, not only legally, but also morally and socially.
We tasted the wine, and we knew immediately this was not Chateau Mouton.
In this internet age, my name will be linked forever, not with great things or great deeds.
He would age his labels by baking them. Now, I only know this because this is what I see. I can't wait until I talk to him.
But rather with a crime that soiled the one thing I truly loved and was good at.
He damaged their hobbies. Now, that doesn't mean you don't give him anything. You give him something for it.
I think the only way to describe Rudi when I first met him would be as a kind of a geeky young kid. He was only 22, 23. He said he was going to be a player in the auction scene, and that was a bizarre thing to say. The way that Rudi broke into the groups that he broke into is because he wore good suits, he appeared to have a lot of money, and he always was able to show up with the biggest, best bottle.
I was graced by God with the talent to taste, describe, and remember the nuances of the wines I was fortunate enough to enjoy.
Once his talent was recognized and other people started to invite him to places and he started to get praise, it's hard to walk away from that.
In fine wine, I found my passion passion that became all-consuming and which ultimately led me here today. Wine became my life, and I lost myself in it.
I knew that he was counterfeiting by 2005, when I started seeing auction consignments that were describing him as a collector for decades. I mean, just total BS.
Rudi was celebrated as having one of the best palates that had been seen in a long, long time. Rudi is able to mix those wines together to mimic the taste of wines that really don't exist anymore.
When you look at some of his formulas where he's tried a formula and he crosses it out, and then he tries another formula, you can see that he was a mad scientist in the kitchen mixing stuff up.
People should be angry about this. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's not Mouton 1945, what is it that you're drinking?
Finding rare wines became an obsession, and I relentlessly pursued obtaining them wherever I could find them. What originally started out as buying a few bottles of wine at a local store, over the course of years turned into buying millions of dollars worth of wine. This obsession attracted attention, and I admit that I enjoyed it. My wines provided me with access to people and experiences I otherwise would not have enjoyed. I thought these people were my friends, and I wanted to be accepted in their world.
He was hanging out with Acker, Merrill, and Condit, who's an auction house group. You know, fast playing, big dick swinging, you know, big bottle having guys that thought that they were the cool guys. And John Capon generated a lot of press.
Rudi got involved in a world that he didn't expect to be a part of and suddenly found himself a part of, and he got raised to kind of a celebrity status.
Now, eventually, Acker, Merrill, and Condit, through whom Rudi has sold most of his wine, started funding him. They started loaning him millions of dollars. And then they got their friends to loan him millions of dollars. At that point, Rudi had millions of dollars to go out and purchase the proper bottles and the blending wines and get the labels printed. And he did buy a lot of wine.
There's some evidence that suggests that Rudi would be used by Acker Merrill to sometimes be a purchaser at times when they might have difficulty moving a lot. So his relationship was very tight and very close with Acker Merrill. There's no questions about that. They were the ones that then started pressuring him more and more that you have to find more of these good wines so that we can sell them.
I now realize that all this was false and pretentious, and that my priorities were completely out of order. The things I did to maintain this illusion were so foolish. The end was inevitable.
So this is an example of an authentic bottle that Rudi used, but he refilled it. And he refilled it, and when he did so, he put in a completely blank cork. A wine professional, even a novice, looking at these bottles should know that this bottle cannot be sold.
The auction industry should be held accountable. There were inconsistencies that weren't made known to the public.
Let's go forward a little bit. Now we have an Acker, Merrill, Condit auction in which Rudi Kurniawan is consigning a bunch of wines from Domaine Ponceau in Burgundy. Laurent Ponceau finds out and says, look, you've got wines from Clos Saint-Denis in there from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The first vintage of Clos Saint-Denis we ever made was 1982. If at an auction an item is going to be pulled, it's on a sheet called the errata sheet or the addendum sheet, and it will say lot 482 withdrawn. The lots were not withdrawn. In fact, the bottles were on display in the restaurant for potential bidders to look at. Laurent Ponceau flies to New York and walks into the auction room. Somebody tells John Capon, you see that hippie-looking guy over there? Yeah, that's Laurent Ponceau. So from the podium, John Capon withdraws those lots.
I thought, one day this guy is going to get it. And, you know, more than 5 years later, he got it.
I never meant for things to turn out as they did. I never meant to hurt or embarrass anyone. I'm not evil or violent. I'm truly sorry for the shame and pain I've brought on my family and the embarrassment I've brought on the people I wanted to be my friends.
If you looked at the evidence pictures, what you see is, in fact, that's the production factory. It's a kitchen sink, soaking labels off of the bottles, and it's a number of bottles opened from which the mixtures can be put together and tasted. That allows you to create some bottles. It doesn't allow you to create $100 million worth of fake wine. There's things on the list like a $1,000 bottle of Dom Perignon champagne. No indication he could even counterfeit something like that with the tools that he had available.
I believe, and many of my colleagues believe, that he has a large chunk of money waiting for him when he gets out.
We've never used as a defense that the people were rich. Certainly, rich people also, you know, have a right to be protected against crime.
People take shortcuts, and much of the time they don't get caught. And sometimes they do.
Rudi messed with these people's hobbies. That's it. It was their hobby. None of these people had to make even the slightest change in their lifestyle. That didn't happen. Is their pride more important than livelihood of other people? I mean, lots of things can damage our pride, and I think that damaging somebody's pride is an inappropriate basis for a harsh sentence.
That is literally the most sobering film. It's probably these aren't fake.
Absolutely not. I've gone out, I've bought 2 bottles of what I know can only be Haut-Brion, and there are amazing steps in place, particularly with more recent vintages like this, to make sure that the wine you find on the shelf or through a merchant is absolutely what you're looking for. What I've done is I've replaced one bottle with something different. I want you to go and have a look and see if you can tell me which of these is the fraudulent wine.
It's immediate. I know exactly which one that is.
So do I.
Look at the colour difference.
Look at the smell difference.
It's got to be ridiculous. Number 1, the Lefty Lucy, not good. Don't like it. Going to be shocked when I find out that I'm wrong.
That's the fake.
Would you bet £100,000 of your own money buying this at auction that your choice is the right one?
Yes.
Because that's what it comes down to. And you've got a really easy version of this challenge. I've given you dramatically different wines from a recent vintage, and they're not blended with the original wine. One of these is totally different. And you've got to go and make that call. And people have done, and then they've discovered that they were totally wrong.
Is this one it's the lighter shade a Burgundy and this one a Claret?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Goode, you've kept your £100,000 in that scenario. You've just lost it. What we have here, what you enjoy, is a great wine. It's a Valdepeñas. It's a Spanish wine aged in oak, and it's around £9, and you'd get it anywhere. What we have on the other side is a Haut-Brion. It's a £130 bottle of Bordeaux. You know what? People at home may well think, well, I would have definitely spotted that. There will be people out there with questions about wine investment, fine wines that they've bought. Get in touch with us. We've got loads of information at our website.
We've certainly learned a lot today, and if you'd like to learn more, please join us again on The Wine Show.
Don't go straight down! Don't go straight down! Excuse me. So what happens now?
Get that out, sommelier. You won't. Oh, no. So it really shouldn't be used.
By amateurs.
No, it can be. Bring me another bottle. Ah,